Today, we're revealing 12 creepy ghost legends, haunting stories that still linger across Indiana. Number 1. Black Annie. In the town of Boonville, Indiana, there is a legend that has haunted generations. Locals call her Black Annie, a faceless, ghostly figure said to roam Scales Lake Road after dark. The story traces back to the early 1900s, when a fire destroyed the Scales family home. Among the lives lost was a young servant girl named Annie, whose screams were said to echo through the flames as the house collapsed. Some believe her spirit never left, clinging to the place of her tragic death. Those who travel the road at night often report chilling encounters. Drivers describe a dark figure suddenly appearing alongside their cars, sometimes clinging to the side before vanishing into smoke. Others claim to hear high-pitched screams carried across the woods, sounds that resemble a young girl in desperate need of help. The suddenness of these sightings often leaves travelers shaken long after they've sped away from the road. Over the decades, Black Annie became both a warning and a dare. Teenagers would test their courage by driving the road at midnight, engines off, waiting in silence. Many swore they saw shifting shadows moving closer to their cars, or felt icy fingers brush against their windows. Parents used her story as a way to keep children from wandering too far at night, but the mystery only fueled curiosity. Even now, locals insist that Black Annie's restless spirit is still present. Whether she seeks release, revenge, or simply relives her final terrifying moments, no one can say for certain. But those who have crossed paths with her agree on one thing: Scales Lake Road is never truly empty once the sun goes down. Number 2. Stiffy Green. Among the quiet rows of Highland Lawn Cemetery in Terre Haute rests one of Indiana's most beloved ghost stories. It begins with Stiffy Green, a loyal bulldog owned by a man named John Heinel in the 1920s. When Heinel passed away, his faithful companion refused to leave his side. The bulldog would sit stiffly by his master's grave, growling at anyone who came too close, until he eventually died of grief. Moved by the bond between the two, townsfolk honored Stiffy by placing his preserved body in a glass case beside Heinel's mausoleum. From that day on, eerie tales began to spread. Visitors claimed to hear phantom barking echoing through the cemetery late at night. Others said they saw glowing green eyes watching them from the shadows, always near Heinel's tomb. The loyal dog spirit, it seemed, had refused to rest. The legend grew so popular that Highland Lawn became a destination for thrill seekers. Some swore that if you whistled at the mausoleum, you would hear Stiffy's ghostly bark in reply. Others told of the dog's spirit chasing trespassers, his glowing eyes darting between the gravestones. Though no one has ever been harmed, many who visit leave convinced that Stiffy is still faithfully guarding his master. Today, Stiffy Green remains one of Terre Haute's most enduring tales. His story is more than a ghost legend. It's a reminder of loyalty that even death could not break. Whether seen as eerie or heartwarming, visitors to Highland Lawn continue to whisper about the little bulldog who barks from beyond the grave. Number 3. Edna Collins. One of Indiana's most heartbreaking legends is tied to the Clinton Falls covered bridge near Greencastle. It tells of Edna Collins, a young girl from the early 1900s, who loved swimming in the creek below the bridge. While waiting for her parents one afternoon, she went swimming alone. Tragically, she drowned before anyone returned, leaving the town mourning a child whose laughter had filled the air only hours before. Not long after, stories began to spread that Edna's spirit still lingered. Drivers crossing the bridge at night claimed to hear splashing water even when the creek was still. Others reported the faint sound of a little girl's laughter carried through the wooden beams. The most chilling part of the legend became a dare. If you drive onto the bridge at midnight, turn off your engine, and honk 3 times, Edna's ghost will appear. Many who have tried describe eerie experiences. Some say they saw small wet handprints on their car, as if a child had climbed aboard. Others tell of a pale figure of a young girl peering into windows before vanishing into the night. Even those who experience nothing often leave uneasy, convinced that unseen eyes watch them from the shadows. Today, the Edna Collins Bridge remains one of Indiana's most visited haunted spots. For some, it is a story of tragedy. For others, a thrilling encounter with the unknown. Yet whether you go in search of fear or curiosity, one thing is certain: Edna's spirit has made sure her name will never be forgotten. Number 4. Diana of the Dunes. Along the wind-swept shores of Lake Michigan, visitors have long told stories of a ghostly woman running barefoot across the sand. She is known as Diana of the Dunes, a mysterious figure whose legend has haunted the Indiana dunes for more than a century. The tale begins with Alice Mabel Gray, a well-educated woman who left city life in the early 1900s to live simply among the dunes. She died in 1925, but soon after, people claimed to see her spirit roaming the lakefront as though she never left. Fishermen were among the first to share their encounters. They described seeing a naked woman with long, flowing hair darting along the shoreline before vanishing into the waves. Hikers spoke of spotting her at twilight, her form glowing faintly as she moved with unearthly grace. These accounts painted a picture of a spirit both free and restless, a woman forever tied to the wild beauty she loved in life. The legend grew as newspapers picked up the strange sightings. Locals began calling her Diana, likening her to the Roman goddess of the hunt, who also roamed wild places. Some said Diana was a restless ghost, seeking the peace she never found in her isolated life. Others believed she appeared to remind visitors of the dunes' power, a warning that nature itself holds mysteries that cannot be explained. Today, the Indiana dunes remain one of the most popular destinations in the Midwest, and Diana's story is part of its identity. Visitors still claim to glimpse her at sunset, a fleeting figure racing along the beach, vanishing as quickly as she appears. Number 5. Dogfaced Woman. In the quiet town of San Pierre, Indiana, an old cement bridge carries a legend both bizarre and chilling. Locals call it Dogface Bridge, named after the ghost said to haunt it. According to the story, a young bride and her dog were riding across the bridge in the 1950s when tragedy struck. Their car veered off the side, and in the wreck, both bride and animal were killed. Yet when rescuers arrived, neither the bride's head nor the dog's head could be found. Not long after, strange sightings began. Motorists claimed that late at night, a pale woman with the head of a snarling dog would appear near the bridge. Some said she climbed onto cars, scratching at windows with ghostly claws. Others heard chilling howls echoing through the night, mixed with the cries of a woman in pain. The horrifying figure became known simply as the Dogfaced Woman. Teenagers soon turned the bridge into a testing ground for courage. They would gather at midnight, waiting for the ghost to appear. Some swore they saw glowing eyes in the dark, watching from the tree line. Others told of their cars refusing to start after seeing the phantom, as though the spirit itself was holding them there. The tales grew with each generation, cementing the bridge as one of Indiana's strangest haunted sites. Today, Dogface Bridge is still spoken of in whispers, its legend passed from one daring group of visitors to the next. Whether it is a tale born from tragedy or imagination, the thought of a woman cursed with the face of her dog lingers in the minds of all who cross. Number 6. Governor James Whitcomb. On the campus of DePaul University in Greencastle, students whisper about the ghost of a former governor who refuses to rest. James Whitcomb, Indiana's 8th governor, was a book lover who left much of his personal collection to the school. His treasured volumes now sit in the university library, but some say Whitcomb himself still guards them long after death. The legend tells of strange disturbances whenever someone mishandles or removes one of his favorite books. Staff have reported seeing books mysteriously fall from shelves as if pushed by invisible hands. Others describe the uneasy feeling of being watched as they study late into the night. On more than one occasion, students claim to have seen a shadowy figure in 19th century clothing drift silently between the stacks. One of the most famous stories involves an administrator who borrowed one of Whitcomb's prized books without permission. According to campus lore, the man awoke to find the book on his nightstand, its pages rearranged with a faint image of Whitcomb's ghost standing nearby. The warning was clear: his collection was not to be tampered with lightly. Today, DePaul students still speak of Whitcomb's ghost with a mix of fear and respect. His presence is not seen as threatening, but protective, as though he remains a guardian of knowledge. For those who walk the library halls at night, the creak of floorboards and the rustle of unseen pages may be a reminder that Governor Whitcomb's passion for books has truly outlived him. Number 7. Grieving Mother. The towering Avon Big 4 Railroad Bridge in Hendricks County has long been a landmark of both engineering and fear. Built in 1906, the massive concrete structure carried countless trains across White Lick Creek. Yet beneath its arches lies one of Indiana's most sorrowful ghost stories, the legend of the Grieving Mother. Locals say a woman lost her child in a tragic accident during the bridge's construction, and her cries have echoed through the valley ever since. Some versions of the story claim she stumbled into wet concrete while searching for her missing baby, her body entombed forever within the bridge. Others say she dropped the infant into the rushing creek and leapt in after, only to be swept away. Regardless of the details, the tragedy left behind whispers that never faded. Train workers were the first to report hearing a woman wailing late at night, the sound so heart-wrenching it stopped men in their tracks. Over the years, countless witnesses have come forward. Teenagers daring one another to visit the bridge claim to hear sobbing carried by the wind, followed by the faint sound of a child's cry. Some have even reported seeing the figure of a woman dressed in white, drifting across the tracks before vanishing into the stone arches. For those who believe, her restless spirit remains trapped in a cycle of endless grief. Today, the Avon Bridge still stands tall, and the legend of the Grieving Mother continues to draw curious visitors. Whether it is a ghost or the power of suggestion, many leave convinced they felt her sorrow. Number 8. Lady in White. In the historic city of Franklin, the Johnson County Museum is known for preserving the past. But some believe the past has refused to leave. Staff and visitors alike tell of the Lady in White, a spectral figure who wanders the halls of the old Masonic temple building that houses the museum. No one knows exactly who she was in life, but her ghost has become one of Franklin's most famous legends. The Lady in White is usually described as a tall woman in a flowing gown, her face pale and sorrowful. Museum workers have reported seeing her glide silently across rooms that were moments before empty. Security cameras have even caught strange flashes of light and unexplained movements in locked areas, fueling belief that something supernatural resides there. Many theories exist about her identity. Some say she may have been the wife of a mason who died before his time, returning to the building where he spent so many evenings. Others think she is tied to an object in the museum's collection, forever guarding it. A few even whisper that her spirit predates the museum entirely, a remnant of Franklin's earliest days when the land itself was still young. Today, the Johnson County Museum welcomes visitors curious about both history and mystery. While most come for artifacts and displays, some secretly hope for a glimpse of the Lady in White. Whether she is a restless soul or simply a legend passed down through generations, her presence reminds all who enter that history is not only preserved, it sometimes lingers. Number 9. Henry Dixon. Deep in Lawrence County lies the dark and crumbling Tunnelton Tunnel, a relic of the 19th century railroad era. Built in the 1850s, the tunnel was a marvel of its time, but it quickly gained a reputation for tragedy. The most enduring story is that of Henry Dixon, a construction worker who was murdered during the tunnel's building. Locals say his body was hidden inside, and his spirit never found peace. Soon after his death, workers reported terrifying encounters. Shadows moved against the lantern light, and men heard footsteps echoing behind them when no one was there. Whispers of Dixon's ghost spread, warning others that his restless soul remained in the darkness. By the early 1900s, the tunnel had become infamous, a place where even seasoned railroad men hesitated to linger. Stories from visitors only added to the legend. Some claimed to see a headless figure wandering the tracks at night, lantern in hand, as though still searching for justice. Others heard disembodied voices calling from the depths of the tunnel, urging them to turn back. The chilling atmosphere became so strong that many locals avoided the site altogether, insisting that Dixon's spirit guarded it with fury. Today, the Tunnelton Tunnel, still draws thrill seekers and paranormal investigators. Many enter looking for proof, but most leave with only unease, convinced that Henry Dixon's ghost is still present. Whether a victim of betrayal or tragedy, his story remains a haunting reminder that some injustices echo forever in the shadows of Indiana's past. Number 10. Eliza Willard. In the small city of Franklin, Indiana, the old Willard Hotel still stands as one of the town's most iconic landmarks. Built in the 1920s, it welcomed travelers from all over, but its charm carries a shadowy tale. Guests and staff whisper about Eliza Willard, a young woman who stayed at the hotel not long after it opened. Stricken with tuberculosis, Eliza died in her room, and many believe her spirit never checked out. Visitors began to notice strange happenings on the upper floors. Doors would open and close on their own. Lights flickered even when wiring had been checked, and the faint sound of coughing echoed through the empty halls. Guests often complained of cold spots in their rooms, describing a sudden chill as if someone unseen had passed through. Housekeepers told of beds that seemed freshly pressed just moments after they had been made. Some have even claimed to see Eliza herself. She appears as a pale woman in an early 20th century dress, her eyes tired yet kind, as if still seeking comfort in the place she last knew. Employees say she is not frightening, but sorrowful, moving quietly as though reliving her final days. More than once, guests have woken to find her figure near their bed, vanishing the moment they stir. Today, the Willard Hotel thrives as both a local gathering place and a haunted destination. Travelers come hoping to encounter Eliza, to glimpse the young woman who left too soon. Her story has turned the Willard into more than just a hotel. It is now a reminder that some guests never truly leave, lingering in the echoes of history. Number 11. Lady in Black. Deep in the Morgan Monroe State Forest lies Stepp Cemetery, a small and isolated burial ground with one of Indiana's most chilling legends. For decades, visitors have reported seeing the Lady in Black, a mourning figure who wanders among the graves at night. According to legend, she was a mother who lost her child, and her grief bound her spirit to this lonely resting place. The Lady in Black is most often seen sitting near a particular grave, her head bowed as though in endless sorrow. Witnesses describe her wearing a long black dress and veil, her form both solid and transparent. Some say she wails into the night, while others insist she simply stares at the ground, ignoring all who approach. Her presence is so strong that even seasoned ghost hunters find themselves unnerved in the quiet woods. Stories from locals add to the mystery. Teenagers daring each other to visit the cemetery at night claim to have seen the lady rise slowly from the ground, her face hidden beneath her veil. Others recall car engines stalling near the entrance, only to start again once they left the area. The sense of sorrow and dread lingers long after the visit, as though her grief clings to anyone who sees her. Today, Stepp Cemetery remains a place of curiosity and unease. Hikers and paranormal enthusiasts still wander its grounds, searching for proof of the Lady in Black. Whether she is a spirit of eternal grief or a legend kept alive by whispered tales, her presence has made the small cemetery one of Indiana's most haunting sights. Number 12. Gray Lady. In Evansville, Indiana, one of the most famous ghost stories in the Midwest lingers in the quiet halls of the Willard Library. Built in 1881, the library is an architectural gem, but it is also home to the Gray Lady, a spirit seen by staff, visitors, and even police officers. Her legend is so well known that the library once set up ghost cams to capture her movements. The Gray Lady is said to be a woman in a long gray dress, drifting silently through the stacks. Librarians first reported her presence in the 1930s, when strange cold spots, moving shadows, and the unexplained smell of perfume filled the building. Over time, hundreds of witnesses claimed to see her, making her one of the most documented ghosts in the United States. Some believe she was a woman connected to the library's founder, Willard Carpenter, though no one has ever confirmed her true identity. She is not seen as threatening. Rather, she seems protective, as if guarding the books and the history contained within. Still, those who encounter her describe the experience as unforgettable, her figure materializing briefly before fading into the walls. Today, the Willard Library embraces its haunted reputation, even hosting tours that highlight the Gray Lady's story. For the people of Evansville, she is more than just a ghost. She is part of the city's history, a reminder that some spirits remain bound to the places they loved most. If you enjoyed the video, please click the like button. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.